I'm doing well. How are you? Good.
In your experience, Bobby, I know you didn't go through too many losses like that, haven't gone through too many like that, but how do you best turn the page from something like that?
I think the biggest thing is you learn from it and you got to move on. I mean, there's a lot of season left. There's a lot of stuff that we have to get better at and accomplish. But I think the biggest thing is understanding that, it's a reminder that if you don't come with your A game, good teams will beat you. So, yeah, just move on.
You said after the game that you're in a decent spot, but it doesn't mean anything if we don't make the changes that need to be made. What changes were you talking about?
Change is just like focusing on the little things. Sometimes when you win or you're having some success, the details of the game might get away from you, and the winning might disguise that. So sometimes, having a loss like that or having a loss in general reminds you, how important those things are throughout the season, especially as you get later and later into the season, because those are the teams that, kind of blossom to the top is the ones that are able to do the little things right consistently over and over and over again. So those are the things, just being like reminding yourself that, you may have a big player, do all these things throughout the course of the season, but, it's the little things that propel those good teams to where people want to be at the end of the season.
Last week obviously really skews the numbers, the rushing yards they got. But when you look at kind of where you guys are mid-season in terms of the run defense and everything, do you feel like you're at a good spot still overall, or?
I mean, I feel like we had some good moments, some not so good moments. I think we have the capability of being a really good, run defense. I think again it goes back to, doing the little things right, making sure you don't get too, wanting to make plays. 'Cause a lot of times, it's a lot of just guys want to try hard and make those plays. And again, just a reminder that you might get bored with doing the little things, but those things, help change your season and win for your season.
You have a moment where that clicked as a younger player or anything to just always do the fundamentals, particularly maybe with tackling instead of trying to like do too much, make a play, strip a guy, stuff like that?
There might have been a game in San Diego. We played in San Diego. It was hot. It's like maybe 1-something. That probably was a game where it tested your not only your will, physically, but mentally because it was so hot. You had to do things right. I feel like a lot of guys that game was cramping. I think it might have been my second year. I can't remember, but something like that, second or third year. But I feel like that was a game that always stands out to me as like one of those games where the fundamentals was very important.
Is that in real time, or is it you look back on that game and realize that?
A combination of both. I'd say a combination of both.
A lot was made after the opener about you getting the team together, kind of for that speech before practice, and you'd said you just kind of felt they needed it. In your experience, when can you get that sense after a tough game, these guys need a little pick-me-up or they're fine, they put it in the right place and they've moved on?
I think it's a feel thing, to be honest. I think it's a feel thing and understanding the people that you play with. I think that's the biggest thing. When you have relationships with everybody, you can feel when guys are locked in. You feel what guys are like maybe thinking about what happened the play before, the week before, a little bit too much. And so a lot of it is just feel, relationships, and being able to read the moment.
Feel this week then?
That we're ready to move on.
Were you able to get a sense of what Leonard will bring to this defense based around what you saw on Sunday?
Kind of. It was a little tough just because the way they were running, their zone runs, and you have the quarterback aspect. So a lot of it was kind of perimeter stuff and things like that. But, I mean, you watch the film, you see how strong he is, you see how he controls gaps, you see how he gets off blocks. I think, again, this is his first week. They were throwing a lot at him. He was trying to memorize all the plays. And so I think the more and more, he's getting another week of practice, going to get another game, he'll get comfortable and be the player we know he is.
It's been a while since the Commanders have come to Lumen Field, but with Bieniemy as the offensive coordinator, do you go back and look at film from Kansas City in the last year or this season, or is it just from scratch?
I mean, you can kind of look at it, from a concept wise, but at the end of the day, like they had totally different, packages. Like they had totally different people, obviously different quarterback. The years that they put in together is a lot different. That this is his, first year or whatever it is. So, you might go look to see if they run the same concepts, but at the end of the day, like they have different players, different strengths, and you kind of more focus on this team than KC.
When you look at Sam Howell, he's been able to get the ball out and rack up a lot of yards, but it also seems like there might be some opportunity pass rushing. What have you seen with the way he handles pressure, or maybe the way the O-line handles pressure?
Obviously, like I think they've, a lot of teams have been able to get after him. Been able to sack him a lot, but kind of like what you said, for every maybe sack or whatever, he's able to escape some plays. There was a play that I think he got a 3rd and 23, like by using his legs, and so I think we need to be mindful of that and understand. They know that, they've been getting pressured a lot, but he's also getting comfortable with it, being able to trust his legs a little bit more and escape. And again, we just need to be on our job, make sure we make the plays that we're supposed to make.
So now that you're about halfway through, I know there was a lot of talk about how impressive it was that Jordan Brooks came back so quickly from surgery, but 8 games in, what have you thought about what you've seen from him on the field, and I guess considering that he bounced back that fast?
Again, it's been an amazing journey. I think where he's at right now is pretty remarkable, if you ask me, because, like you said, it's most people don't come back from injury like that, and especially playing at a high level. And so I think it was almost as if he didn't get hurt. It's just he grew as a football player, and used that time to understand the game a little bit more, and it's allowing him to play faster. He's playing really, really fast, making a lot of splash plays, making a lot of impact plays, and he's a great linebacker.
And having played with him before you left for a year, do you see a lot of difference from what he was the first time you played with him to now?
Yeah, because I saw him from rookie to now, so I see the growth every year. Obviously, I went away for a year. He has a new new system, so he's learning that new system, and then I think this year is a combination of just being comfortable with the new system, as well as just trusting himself, trusting his speed, trusting the football that he's seen, and it's been really cool to watch.
What have you made of Boye Mafe's run here the last 6+ games or so into his second year, coming up that successfully with his pass rush game and everything that he's kind of doing right now?
Man, it's been fun to watch because, again, I watched him from afar, obviously, but seeing it up close and personal, watching how hard he works at practice, how hard he works at his pass rush moves, and then being able to not get caught up in, the records or all these different things, just understanding that it's him doing what he normally does every single game that's making all of this happen, and, kind of ignoring the noise. That's been the most impressive thing, is because, sometimes people get caught up in, what they hear outside, and then they try to force sacks, but he's doing what he's supposed to do, and the sacks are coming to him.
With play action plays, the thought has always been like the teams run the ball to set up play action. I think there's maybe numbers that indicate that you don't really have to run the ball effectively to run effective play action. But as a defender, is there a big difference in the effectiveness of the fake when a team is really running the ball well?
For sure, you got to believe it. If a team is trying to play action you or do boots or anything like that, and they don't really run the ball, then you rather kind of err on the side of, like, prove to me that you're gonna run the ball before, I fall for it. But when you have two really good backs like they have, you have to honor that, because if you do it that way, they're out of the gate. And so a lot of it is the personnel, a lot of it is the coordinator. Like, do you believe that that's their true intent? Do they really want to run the ball, or is it just something they're doing to set up something else? So that is just film study, just watching all the games over and over and getting a feel for how they call plays, when they call the play action, where they like to run them towards. Because all of that is just making the throw comfortable for the quarterback. And so the more and more you understand what the coordinator's trying to do or what the quarterback likes, you understand when are the moments that they really actually use that, and when are the moments that they really want to run the ball. And as you get into film, you understand pretty quick, to be honest.
You say they Washington or Baltimore?
Any team. I thought we were just speaking generally. But, yeah, Washington as well. They fall in that line. Like, they have two really good running backs, and, they're going to use them. And if I'm them, you watch last few games, why not try to run the ball? So it's on us to make them one-dimensional.
Are there quarterbacks who are better at play fakes than others?
For sure. There's quarterbacks that are able to hold the fake a little bit longer, and a lot of it too is like the angle of the running back. Like sometimes when you do a wide zone or things of that nature, the quarterback really has to run with the running back. But some of them, they get lazy and they don't really do it, or the running back is not even looking for the ball as they're doing the play action. So we see all of that. We pay attention to all of that. Or sometimes you'll have a running back do a fake way up here, like he never gets the ball with his arms this high in the air. Like defenders pay attention to all of that. So quarterbacks, running backs, even the line, it all marries together because you see a lineman on a run, he's super heavy on his hands or super heavy in his stance. He's coming off the rock because that's a run. But if he's really light, you don't believe it. So you're looking at all of those things in a split second. You're looking at the lineman to the running back to the quarterback, and all of those help you read something.
How long did it take you to pick up on tells like that?
I don't know. I think maybe my second or third year, give or take.
Somebody help you?
I think trusting it took maybe my second or third year. I feel like I was picking up on it in my first year, but I just didn't trust it.
Somebody help you with that, or do you just kind of naturally just got better at it on your own while watching film?
You know what? It's a combination of both because I did seek the help of other linebackers, and a lot of times you had to find out what works for you because what works for them may not work for you. I even remember having a conversation with Mike Singletary. He basically just told me I just got to watch the film because, what he seen or what he saw is different than what I'm looking for, and he could teach me. He could teach me what he was seeing, but it wouldn't be natural to what I was, seeing. So I think it's a combination. Obviously, I had Coach Norton my first couple years, and he sat me down and did a lot for me. So a combination of just getting a feel for it and just having some really good coaches and mentors that took the time to share their knowledge.
Remember any other linebackers you reached out to?
I reached out to all of them, to be honest. I reached out to Ray. Patrick Willis helped me out a lot. Navarro. London Fletcher. Brian Urlacher. Pretty much all of them. I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting somebody, so I apologize if there's no offense.
Is there a difference in studying film from college once you get up to the pro? I mean, I get the speed and intricacy in the NFL game, but is there another skill set you need to learn to study at the pro level as opposed to the college level?
College is kind of more comical, to be honest. I feel like I wasn't watching film like I should have watched film because I feel like college, they run the same play 3 times in a row. They just flip it. And watching the college game, I don't watch it that much anymore, but when I did watch it, it was kind of comical that all they did was just flip the play. In the league, it's just more so trusting what you watch and understanding that they not going to line up in the same thing. They'll run a play out of trips, and then they'll run that same play. They'll start in doubles, and then they'll motion a guy, and they'll end in trips, but it won't begin in that way. So it's more chess, I would say. College is more checkers.
You named all these linebackers that helped you when you were young. It's a little strange now that you're that guy to a lot of young guys coming in the league.
It's not strange at all. Honestly, I was blessed because there wasn't a linebacker that ever turned me away when I asked for knowledge. And so when I was hoping that my career go the way that theirs did, I was making sure that I did the same, and I didn't turn away anybody. So I don't turn away nobody for help because they didn't do that with me.
You cold calling those guys? You didn't know them or have a relationship with them? You just hi, I'm Bobby Wagner?
Basically.
Introduce yourself?
I always introduce myself. It's a respect thing. I don't assume people know who I am. I just find a way to get the number, whether it's through friends, through agents, through whatever, and then I just try to pick their brain.
How impressed were they that a first or second year guy was calling them from the West Coast and asking those questions you were asking? Did you think you got entry just because of that?
Oh, I don't know how impressed they were. I didn't really look at it as an impressive thing. I just wanted to be good at football. So, but again, too, a lot of it wasn't just them, Sherm helped me out a lot getting in contact with certain people. Nort helped me out a lot getting in contact with certain people. So I also used like the people that had been in the league, that had respect throughout the league, to get in contact with some of these people.
Is that part of the reason you say you're so impressed with Witherspoon, because he's that kind of guy who gets out and asks and is inquisitive like he is?
For sure. I mean, that's always a sign of a great player, being able to put your ego aside and have some humility and understand you don't know everything and not afraid to ask questions.
What goes into being a good decent linebacker?
Timing, understanding where the protection is going, whether it's coming to you or away from you, and then being able to beat the block, whether it's the tight end, running back, or the guard. Most times it's the guard for us. Appreciate it.